beautiful? Dr. Kushner, I think once you see her in the crate, you're going to realize how much bigger she was compared to the other crates. Hi. You're doing so good. You're going to get poked. You're going to get poked. You're going to get poked, but that's okay. I know you're going to probably jump a little bit, but then you'll go to sleep and it'll be all fine. Good girl. Oh, I know. That was not nice of Elise, was it? So if you're just joining us, Lesya came up awake in the crate, and she got poked, and she gave her little lion voice, which was definitely appropriate response. And now I'm going to walk away, and we're all going to walk away and be quiet to see if she'll go to sleep. So now it's just a waiting game to let the drug take effect. She got an IM injection, and she'll go hopefully asleep in 10 minutes, and then we'll be able to bring her out on the table. So I'm going to show you our setup here. We're going to be bringing in interns to watch. And then we have the camera set up. That's just an empty table right now. But our new interns are going to be able to watch the procedure today. Sorry, I'm still talking quietly, even though I'm all, because I wanted her to go to sleep. And then our interns will be able to be here in the viewing room, which all of you helped build. I can't believe how big Lesya is because she is actually the smallest of them. And when I remember her in the shipping crate, she was so teeny, and now she's such a big girl, but she's still the smallest out of all of them. It's amazing how fast they grow. So today is kind of a crazy day because it's not nearly as stressful as when we did Alana and Aurora and Alyssa, because those were big cats, because the safety factor doesn't feel as threatening, should I say, like if there was the transport up and down and something happened. So this feels a little easier, but it is a routine surgery, but it's still a surgery. So it's wonderful that we have such a amazing trained and expert staff to be able to do this procedure on site versus having to go off site, things like that. Next week, Prada will be spayed, and that will be Dr. Camper and Dr. Campbell. So of course we're gonna get paw prints at the end of surgery if everything's going well, and then we will be able to use those at auction. So definitely stay tuned to our spring auction. You'll have more lions and other things to bid on. I know volunteer Jenny was just amazing and did another lamp out of a green barrel here, and so it'll be a really great auction. So so spays, let me talk to you a little bit about spays. So for a big cat spay, or even spays like today, our cost is anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000, and that's when we amortize Joy and Dr. Campbell's time, because obviously they get salaries, but a lot of it is medication. We do a lot of pre-medication, so they're calmer. We're gonna do, once they suture her up, they actually do an injection. They'll keep her from anti-itch, something to keep that incision site comfortable. We do Convenia, which is an antibiotic and a long-acting antibiotic that is expensive. And even though these guys are smaller and they take less medication, a lot of times we have to buy a full bottle, and so the cost is about the same. So when you give all the time, you help with all the preventative care, and then of course we have the vaccines and sending out the blood work, things like that. And you know, we do have a sponsor for the Spay today, so that's awesome, and we thank that donor very much. But if you're ever interested in, they're considering right now, they're gonna put a little poll in and see if she has any reaction. And if not, they'll go ahead and take her out and we'll go inside. So she went down pretty quick, which is nice. And a lot of that is that pre-anesthetic because she's very calm. So if you ever want to sponsor a medical treatment, medicine, or even a procedure, that is an opportunity. You can always reach out to me personally at our email on our website or at our phone number, 320-245-6871. Medical care, as you guys know with your animals, is very expensive, but very important. So if you're just joining us, they had immobilized lion cub Lesya. They're checking her for any response to make sure it's safe to come out. And then they'll bring her, we'll bring her out. No response. If somebody wants to hold the crate down for Elise, that's usually really helpful. So this might not be glamorous. Elise is really good at sweetly picking up cats, but sometimes when they get bigger, it can be a little clumsy. Oh, beautiful girl. I'm talking about Elise. Beautiful girl. So they're just redoing her weights. They actually got weights from the cats in their rooms before, but this is a double check because it's easier to get an accurate weight on a cat that's not moving.
Front head up here? Yep. Just on our side to start? Yes.
Let's look at those beautiful paws. It's hard to believe she's the smallest. She's a girl. So it was funny because I asked Dr. Kushner's that had already sexed them, grew up with them, but before we cut any animal, especially for spay, we always double check. We've had cats come from Fish and Game or other rescues where the sex has been wrong, and so we always double check. Similar if we're going to do a surgery on any limb or anything, we're going to double check again that is the correct limb. It's kind of like that old school measure twice, build once or cut once when you're with your saw. We kind of have the same mentality here, double checks, double checks. So they're going to intubate her now. Look at those baby teeth. Still have just her small baby teeth. So if you're just joining us, they're prepping Lesya, the smallest of the Ukraine lion cubs, for spay and a formal exam. If this is the first live post you've been at in the last couple days, definitely go back and check the others. Dr. Kushner and Dr. Campbell explain why spaying captive bred animals that have no conservation value is so important, not only to stop the exploitation of the black market, but also to ensure the long-term health. I don't know, but I think out of everything, the ear fuzz is the most adorable ever. And this will be the quietest you ever hear Lesya. I wouldn't be surprised if she finds some way to vocalize while she's asleep. So the other thing is, you won't see it with Lesya, but we see a lot with the lions, especially the big male lions, is that if their head's kind of positioned a certain way, it puts pressure on their vocal cords and things, and they can sound like they're growling, but it's like a big snore. Doesn't happen with the smaller cats, but it can definitely intimidate people that haven't worked with big cats, especially male lions in the past. So before we get, can you show us the claws, Dr. Kushner?
Yeah, sure.
And see if she's worn hers down.
There's a nice middle
So,
digit.
so they're still small, but
Yeah.
they could do a lot of damage.
They are sharp.
They are
They are very sharp.
And as you all know out there, we love when cats have their claws. We do not think big cats or small cats should be declawed. It causes arthritis and other challenges. So they're going to be setting a catheter right now as well. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find a good position, but I don't want to be in the way of all the work they're doing. So we're putting it on monitoring equipment. They're actually tying her down so that she stays in a safe, upright position with her belly up for spay surgery. So we have a big team here today. Don't always need it that much for the small cats, but we do have 2 techs because we want our techs to rotate in during procedures, especially if they haven't had the experience, our volunteer techs. So as a learning and training facility, you'll see that our team will often be bigger than other teams, and that's because we're usually always training somebody or giving one of our intern staff, volunteers, visiting vets, visiting techs, an experience. The amazing thing is when we do these partnerships, these are with our techs that have committed volunteer time for us. A lot of them come do crew days. They come twice a month to help with hospital tasks. So we're not necessarily bringing people just for a one-time experience. It's committed individuals that want to go into this line of zoo work, but they have full-time jobs and they also volunteer their time for us. We'll also bring in visiting vets just to network and to share different experiences with. So you've seen the team with the big cat lion spays we brought up, cross-training and being able to get more vets to be able to deal with captive wildlife is so important. And you know, the big cats, there's a lot of similarities with dog and cat medicine, but there's a lot of nuances and things that can be different too. So as a teaching sanctuary, not only do we have the animal care intern programs, the media intern programs, the vet volunteer program, Joy and Dr. Campbell are putting together a formal vet tech internship that we hope to go into play this year. And then again, cross-training and collaborating with other facilities and vet teams is what is so important to really helping not just the cats at our sanctuary, but animals around the country. And Dr. Krishner will make sure you leave with a paw print today. Too bad it's not, and when Taras is due, you'll get his paw print too. His will be much bigger at that time. So they have the catheter in. Her little baby teeth still. More prep, more shaving. And then she'll recover in the larger crate versus that small very kennel so that she has room to lay flat. Of course, Elise is already stocked up for paw paintings. And so we'll keep everyone posted. They're getting ready to scrub in and they're gonna start getting sterile. And so we're gonna step out But we will let you guys know how Lesya's spay goes. This procedure will take about an hour and a half, and that's with the intake exam. We might do radiographs if there's time and everything else. So we'll keep everyone posted on how she does, and then we'll definitely, it will be Stefania's turn a little later